Greetings from Cybertron. This is SoundJack here with a review of the Transformers Titans Return, Dastard and Repugnus with Solus Prime. So, this is the second Amazon exclusive Deluxe class figure that is a part of a series of 3 that is with each of the figures representing a different part of the Prime Wars trilogy, with Repugnus Dastard representing the Titans Return portion, with the first figure in the series, Blast Off, which I just reviewed, so you can go check that review as well, was number 1, representing Combiner Wars, and eventually we will have Punch Counterpunch representing Power of the Primes, but he won't be coming out until the end of September, so you'll have to wait a little bit for that one. But we've got Repugnus here, so let's just start off really quick since the boxes are really different from standard. Looking at the box a bit, we got Prime Wars Trilogy, Transformers, Generations, nice artwork of Repugnus slicing baddies up, Dastard Repugnus Autobots, ages 8 and up, fantasy scene here. You got the Power of the Prime stuff since Solus is here. You got bio, stock photography, words, warnings, more words. Nice side artwork that combines on the side of the box with Blast Off side of the box, and will also combine with counter punches. So you got 1, you got 2, and you also see specifically on Repugnus is his Monsterbot teammates, Double Cross AK Twinferno, and a Grotesque there. You got Titans Return in red on the top. And in the insert, you can see Solus Prime in there. This is where they would be packaged, Titans Return. And many will unite, one will rule. To control an ancient race of warriors the size of cities, the Titans, the Autobots and Decepticons harness the power of Titan Masters, smaller bots that give bigger bots increased abilities in battle. Kind of wish they had better terms for smaller bots and bigger bots, but totally, those words don't exist anywhere in fiction at all. But anyway, that's it for the box. So let's get started by looking at the figures, and we will start with Solus Prime really quick. She's a translucent blue. Repaint? Is that what you call it? Repaint? Anyway, she's a different color of the standard retail Solus Prime. But honestly, is her being cast in transclear plastic with a different paint truly considered a repaint? Is the recasting of different plastic count as a repaint? That's what I want to know. What that term would be. Or is that supposed to be what redeco would be? Anyway, you can see the Repugnus's Solus Prime and then the standard retail Solus Prime. They are the same mold. The one that we are looking at is just cast in translucent blue plastic with a gray with a bit of pink tint plastic going on there, which is very faint. Most of her is cast in the clear blue plastic, as you can see with the arms and especially the face. It seems like the legs might be as well because they are a different shade than the chest and the lower legs. As you can see, it's closer to the painted colors for the upper legs, which makes sense since that's the layout that the Megatronus had. And I'll just bring Megatronus in since I mentioned that. There you go. There you can see the 2 translucent clear bots so far. This one I think represents Solus's when she dies, because she is notably dead in most of the depictions of Primes. She also has the same colors for her symbol on the back of the bot. But going into articulation, her head can rotate a full 360 degrees. Arms can bend that far up. And legs can bend forward, that far back. Knees can bend that far back and that far forward. Collapse her in half, and then you got her spark mode. And that's all you're to say on Solus Prime. So let's look at Repugnus's new Titan Master partner, Dastard. From Dastardly, not from anything else, if you were thinking of anything else. But anyway, like the other 2 Monsterbots, Double Cross and Grotesque, his Titan Master partner's robot form is based off of Battle Beast, a series of figures released in Japan that don't transform but are under the Transformers branding. This guy is called Hedgehog. Yes, that's the best they could do. You had White Leo, and then you go to Hedgehog. But anyway, just a quick comparison with the other the other Titan Masters from the other Monsterbots. They all look pretty nice. They all have the same bodies except for different heads, which is very neat. Though I wish I wish my White Leo had better paint on it. Hedgehog does look very nice. He's got mostly in yellow. Whoops, sorry, Dastard. Gray at the feet, gray at the upper arms, gray all over the face, and then brown molded plastic for the chest and the lower legs, which looks pretty nice. And then same articulation pretty much as Solus Prime. Head rotates 360. Arms can bend that far up. Legs bend that far forward. That far back. Knees bend that far back. That far forward. Transform. Just collapse it in half. And then you have Repugnus's head mode. Yeah, looks all right. The eyes look kind of small, but it's all right. It's all right. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's show him off with the Titan's Return Titan Master Repugnus, who is actually Repugnus and not like some other dude that combines with Repugnus, but Repugnus himself apparently. So there's the robot mode. And then there's the head mode. A lot of people have seemingly been preferring the Titan Master head mold. The Titan's Return Titan Master head mold. What am I saying? The Titan's Return Titan Master Repugnus as opposed to the Titan's Return Deluxe Repugnus head. But I actually kind of like this one mostly because his huge lips are kind of weird. I do like the bigger eyes though. So personally anyway. But it's up to you what you want to do. But I will show off the use of the heads once we get to robot mode. The different heads once we get to robot mode. But that's it for Dastard. So let's get on to Repugnus himself once Dastard stands. He is a giant bug monster similar to a grasshopper or praying mantis or what have you. Though definitely a lot different and definitely a lot more mechanical. Getting right into it. His head is cast in transparent plastic, as you can see if you lift his head up, all clear, all translucent green. You got nice big green eyes. You got a lot of brown paint going on here. Nice Autobot symbol there. A little bit of yellow spots up top. Nice gray pincers and even a mouth. The bottom row of teeth are painted, which is all two of them. Sorry, we're out of focus here. Come on, get in focus. And then the top row of teeth, however, are left in the translucent green colors. There's no paint on them whatsoever. You got the chest that's predominantly yellow, a little bit of red, some translucent green that we'll talk about in a bit. You got what's the abdomen here with red and a bit of yellow going on. You got just straight up robot arms hanging on the back there. That's all they really are. They're just the robot mode arms just hanging there. The beast mode legs, though, are very nice. They're red. You got some tampographed tech details, probably similar to the original toy. You got some hairy legs at the bottom, but they're shared parts with the other two Monsterbots, so that's fine. Gray, you got some nice clawed toes that are painted in gray and brown. And then you also have the beast mode arms, which have white upper arms, red lower arms is what I'd call that, with an Autobot symbol there. It's upside down because they'll make more sense in robot mode. And then nice gray painted scythe right there. And then on the back, as you can see, he has two swords that in this storage configuration can be wings. This is basically like a folded down position for the wings, but you're also able to put them in like a spread out wing position if you untap them and not the arm from the body. And instead of using that post hole right there, that slot but that slot right there, you can orient them into that position, and it does not want to stay on. Orientate, what kind of word is that? It's orient. Orient them into that position. You can get him a flying monster bug mode. But before going more into the swords and more into the Time Master interactivity, let's get into articulation for the bug guy. So his head does not do anything except the mouth opens just a little bit and closes just a little bit. But you can get him to look up if you untab his head from those two slots right there. Arms, the shoulder basically can only go down that far, and with the head down can only go up that far. You get the head out of the way, you can get substantially more articulation out of him, but obviously you can't do all of that because again the pincers kind of get in the way of that. You could probably, now you can't even like work around it. You'd have to just detach it for it to get even higher, to get any further than that point. But anyway, you got that articulation there. You got, whoops, sorry about that. You got up and down here. You got a 360-degree rotation, and then you got the pincers. The scythe hands can hinge in and out. As for the legs do have room to rotate 360 degrees, though these bits will get in the way, so you can't actually do a full 360 unless you like fold the leg all the way in. But that'd be weird, I guess. But besides that rotation there, you can get a little. You got a little room for, you get a lot of room, I should say, for in and out. There, you got a knee bend that can go that far up, but that's more for transformation, and that far straight. Though that kind of a joint works very well. Then you also have toe articulation, allowing to bend down that far and up that far, and that's all the articulation for Repugnus's beast mode. Now, more onto the swords and the Titan Masters. So the two swords, they have the 5mm posts, and actually looking at the swords a little bit, you can see they are translucent green with the same brown paint that is used for Repugnus's head. But they also have all of these tabs here, which would probably make them ineffective swords, but you are able to use those tabs to combine them and make a little sled for Titan Masters, as Titan Master toys are wont to do. And you have that for that. And then you can use these tabs at the bottom of the sled to stick Titan Master, to stick it onto the shoulder of Repugnus's beast mode, giving him like a shoulder mounted sidecar for a bug monster. That's the best I can think of for that, which is weird, but obviously you can utilize those same tabs. They are on both shoulders, so you can also just stick those swords on and just make them even more spiky and spiky. And spiky and spiky. Great sentence there, SoundJack. But anyway, you can't flip them around just because these tabs and slots stuff get in the way of the pincers get in the way of those tabs and slots. Whatever way you want to look at it, whichever version of the cup is half empty or half full statement you want to do for that. I do personally like them most on the back. In bug mode, I will say, he is not able to hold the swords in his scythe hands, unfortunately. But there are two other attachment points for Titan Masters and Prime Masters, since he comes with a Prime Master, but I'll just show it off with Dastard here. You got these two Titan Master posts that will fit into the holes at the bottom of the Titan Master's feet, right to there. Plug them in, and you've got him riding on the back of Repugnus. You do have to break his knees and have him bend forward, so as it looks like he's actually properly riding, though. And as well as you can get him or any Titan Master into a seating position. Open up that door, stick him on in, and close it up, and now he's riding inside Repugnus. Very simple. Very simple indeed. And it certainly works. Now just to get Repugnus out, not Repugnus, Dastard out, and fix Repugnus, and then we can get into some size comparisons. Now everyone's looking good. Here they are with Titan's Return Legends / Bumblebee. You can see that scale. Deluxe class Chrome Dome. You can see that scale. Voyager class Megatron. see that scale. Leader class 6 shot. That scale. And of course, here he is with his Monsterbot brethren, Twinferno and Grotesque. Very nice that they are all deluxe sized. Very few parts, surprisingly. The upper legs are different. The Repugnus's arms don't share with Grotesque's, don't have the wings. The lower legs are the same, but the feet are different. And the chests are quite different. There's no crotch piece, which does allow this to bend further back than it can on either of the other two. Well, what will be the lower legs in robot mode to bend further back to make it look like a proper abdomen on a bug monster like him, which makes that look very nice. Some early stock photos showed that it was just sticking straight down, and I thought that looked weird, but having them just have that little bit of room to stick back like an abdomen is very nice. I just want to say that because I really appreciate that. It's very much a Titan's Return level retool, where there are shared pieces, but they are very few overall. The Time Masters certainly share more than the Repugnus does with the other two, but it is very nice that they were able to do that properly. Before I forget, obviously we should also just compare it with the Titan's Return Titan Master class Repugnus right there, so you can just see those differences. But that is all to say on Repugnus in his beast mode, so let's get into transformation. So let's roll right along to robot mode. I almost stole someone else's catchphrase for that bit. Anyway, we're going to move the Time Master and Prime Master off to the side, and then we'll get into transformation. We'll start with taking the swords off, and we'll start with transforming the legs. So we're going to move things out of the way, pretty much just get these hips off the sides, like so. Then we're going to rotate that assembly down like so. Split the legs, flip these down, rotate these into proper position, fold that back, flip the toes down, flip that around so it's oriented correctly. You got one leg done. You repeat that on the other side. Flip that up, straighten that out, fold that back, flip that back, rotate. You got the legs all done. Excellent. Now for the top part of the body, we're going to start with just untabbing the arms and making room for the head to come back. We're just going to untap the head, and these vertical tabs, horizontal tabs are for the robot arms to stick in the back. The vertical tabs are going to be for the bug head to stick on the back, like so. We'll just get those arms rotated down. Now for the bug limbs, what you're going to do is you're going to rotate that 360, flip the scythe in, and you're going to bend this part at the hinge, and then this hinge will help that bend in as well, and that shall collapse and lock on like so. Again, repeat that on the other side. Rotate, just double bend, flip the scythe in, there you go. Now all you have to do is flip out the hands, get the Titan Master in place, like so, and there you have Grotesque in robot mode. Grotesque, Repugnus, I should say, in robot mode. And it looks very nice, very accurate to G1, and a lot less monstrous into the robot mode than the other two. You just got the bug head hanging off the back pretty much, and him having some nice chest areas. I'm sorry, that was so weird to say, but anyway, like look at that chest. Look at that chest. He's probably like a D cup or something. I don't know how bras work. Anyway, Repugnus is looking very nice with his Time Master head on top. Very yellow though. Could probably use with a bit more paint. Again, I think the eyes could be bigger. But I don't think the lips need to be as big as the one on the Titan Master version. But anyway, yellow chest. You got a lot of the red up here. You get to see that detail. That Autobot symbol's right around. You got white upper arms, red lower arms with little bits of gray there. White fists. The brown brown hip area, white thighs, red legs with a bit of yellow on the kneecap, and then brown bits and red bits from the beast mode legs. And then that's the back. Pretty clean transformation, all things considered. Though the arms could do with hiding away a bit better, but oh well, what are you going to do? So for articulation, his head can rotate a full 360 degrees. There is a little bit of wiggle waggle due to how the Time Master works. Arms can rotate a full 360 degrees. Arms can bend out to the side. There is a bicep swivel of 90 degrees of bend at the elbow, and the wrist can do that if that serves purpose for you. Hips can rotate that far forward and that far back, and the legs can stretch that far out. Now, the thigh swivels do rotate a full 360 degrees. However, due to mold flash as well as the paint applications, these swivels are so tight. I am so concerned that something's gonna break. I feel like I'm gonna break these like I broke Beachcomber's neck. If you haven't heard that story, ask me next time I do a Q&A, and I'll tell you about the Beachcomber neck story. But anyway, both legs are so tight. I found actually rotating, I don't know why I rotated the one way, but rotating it the other way is a bit easier than that way. That's way so much harder. Rotating inside, starting the rotation going inside the leg instead of doing it outside is easier. But boy, is that really tight. It's so tight. When I first opened the box, was like, this thing is missing a rotation. And I was like, oh wait, no, it does. It's just so friggin' tight that it's so hard to move it, and I'm so concerned about that. But continuing on, you got knee bend that goes well over 90 degrees. I guess that's rotation there. It's not like a proper ankle tilt since it goes more out than in, but that would be straight, that's bent in, so you get a little bit of ankle tilt. And then because of how the leg transforms, you get a toe bend, very deep toe bend if you want. And that's it for articulation for him. So I'll just show him off with the swords that he can plug into his 5mm hands, like so. Let's lower the camera a little bit on him. Or what you can do is, you see there are two sets of tabs on the forearms there. You can utilize the tabs that were used to store them on his back in his beast mode, and then put them together and then combine the swords together to get a double sworded forearm weapon shield thingamajigger. I had thought that it would be the opposite way around, so the Time Master could ride on his forearm, but I mean that certainly does the job. That still looks pretty heckin' cool, if I do say so myself. The storage from the alt mode does still work. It is just moved to the back of the shoulder, so if you want to give him some wicked looking shoulder spikes, you can do that as well, or you can just store them on the back. And it's a very fun way of doing it. So for the middle of the tabs, it's this tab going into that slot right there, and you can see there's a tab here and a slot there. So you just utilize the same ones on the ones on the sword to store them on the back, which is very neat. I don't think most toys. I can't recall a toy that does it like that. And it's just kind of neat. It's just kind of fun. It's very simple and very like, oh yeah, they should do that. And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that before. That's just kind of neat. And that storage does look really cool, especially with that angle going on. Does make it look more bug wingy, and it's just straight down to me, I think. But that's still a really nice weapon storage right there. And if you want, you can move these out of the way and still access the chest compartment storage. So if you want to get all of the figures involved, the gap in here is big enough that you can put something in its cube-shaped body and stick it in there. So now he's powered by the Spark of Solus. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say on... Oh, wait. Before we get into size comparisons, let me just show off the alternate head from the Titan Master Repugnus and throw that on there like so. And you can see him like that, and you can make your decision as to what you want. Personally, I am content with the regular, with the head he comes with. But it's all up to you. So I figure I'd show that off. So that's all there is to say on Repugnus and his robot mode. So now let's get into some robot mode size comparisons. Here he is with Legends Class Bumblebee. Whoops. Deluxe Class Chrome Dome. He kind of got into the shot there a little bit. Voyager Class Megatron. We're going to need to raise the camera as we normally do. Leader Class 6-Shot. As you can see. The channel's mascots, Soundwave. Oops. And Wheeljack. You can see how he looks next to them. And of course, his Monsterbot buddies, Grotesque. And straighten your wings out, boys. Grotesque. And Twinferno, as well as the Titan Master version. Soundwave, get out of the shot. Your time is done for now. Next time you can be back in shot. And that's the whole Monsterbot lineup. That looks very nice, as well as Solus Prime. But yeah, overall, Repugnus is very nice. I'm very, very happy that they actually did a deluxe-sized Repugnus to go along with the other two deluxe Monsterbots. Gonna be a little hard to complete as two of them are exclusives. But my understanding is that there's going to be a special Legends 2-pack of Repugnus and Grotesque released in Japan. So if you still need to get them, that will also be an option if you do want to complete your Monsterbot collection. But again, looks very good. Very nice that there's a deluxe. Do appreciate that a bit more than the Monsterbot, even though Monsterbot 1 is pretty cool in its monster mode. The other mode, the weapon mode, is a little but you can have him wielding the weapon mode as well. Yeah, I enjoy him. He's a good time. And that's all I have to say on Repugnus, as well as Dastard and Solus Prime. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SoundJack426. Also, please consider donating on my Patreon page to help support the channel. All the links will be in the description below. Thanks for tuning in. This is SoundJack signing off.